Hi, I am Revathi. I'm working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering in Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to discuss the topic about query processing. If there is a fresh query and its hash code does not exist in shared pool, then that query has to pass through from the additional steps known as hard passing. Otherwise, if hash code exists, then query does not passes through additional steps, it just passes directly to execution engine. This is known as soft parsing. That means if there is a fresh query and its hash code does not exist in a shared pool, then that query has to pass through from the additional steps known as hard passing. But if it is passes directly to execution engine, then this is called it as soft parsing. Second step is optimizer. During optimization stage, database must perform a hard pass at least for one unique DML statement. DML means data manipulation language statements and perform optimization during this parse. This database never optimizes DDL, data definition language, unless it includes a DML component such as subquery that require optimization. It is a process in which multiple query execution planned for satisfying a query or examine and most efficient query plan is satisfied for execution. Database catalog stores the execution plans and then optimizer passes the lowest cost plan for execution. Step 3. Execution engine. Finally, run the query and display the required result. Thus, we can understand the working of a query processing through this described diagram. Suppose a user executes a query, as we have learned that the various methods of extracting the data from the database in SQL. A user wants to fetch the record of the employee whose salary is greater than or equal to 10,000. For doing this, the following query is undertaken. What is that? Select EMP underscore name from employee where salary greater than 10,000. Thus, to make the system understand the user query, it needs to be translated in the form of relational algebra. We can bring this query in the relational algebra form as sigma salary greater than 10,000, then pi employee name of employee. Then you have to display the employee name whose salary is getting more than 10,000 for that table name employee. So pi employee name sigma salary greater than 10,000 of employee. After translating the given query, we can execute each relational algebra operations by using different algorithms. So in this way, a query processing begins its working. Next one is to the relational algebra translation. It is required to annotate the translated relational algebra expression with the instruction used for specifying and evaluating each operation. Thus, after translating the user query, the system executes a query evaluation plan. Query evaluation plan. In order to fully evaluate a query, the system needs to construct a query evaluation plan. A query evaluation plan define a sequence of primitive operations used for evaluating a query. The query evaluation plan is also referred to as the query execution plan. A query execution engine is responsible for generating the output of the given query. It takes the query execution plan, executes it, and finally make the output for the user query. Optimization. The cost of the query evaluation can vary for different types of queries. Although the system is responsible for constructing the evaluation plan, the user does not need to write their query efficiently. Usually, a database system generates an efficient query evaluation plan which minimizes its cost. This type of task performed by the database system and is known as query optimization. For optimizing a query, the query optimizer should have an estimated cost analysis of each operation because the overall operation cost depends on the memory allocations to several operations, execution costs, and so on. Finally, after selecting an evaluation plan, the system evaluates the query and produces the output of the query. Select L, for example, select L name, F name from employee where salary greater than, select maximum of salary from employee where D number equal to department number is equal to 5. The inner block, select maximum of salary from employee where department number equal to 5 translated into pi max salary sigma department number is equal to 5 of employee. The outer block, select L name, F name from employee where salary greater than C translated into pi L name, that means last name, then first name, sigma salary greater than C of employee. C represent the results returned from the inner block. The query optimizer would then choose an execution plan for each block. The inner block needs to be evaluated only once. It is much harder to optimize the more complex correlated nested queries. Sorting. External sorting. It refers to sorting algorithms that are suitable for large files of records and that do not fit entirely in main memory, such as most database files. Order by. Sort merging algorithms for join and other operations, union, intersection, duplicate elimination algorithms for project operation, that is distinct. Typical external sorting algorithm uses a sort merged strategy. Sort pace. Create a sort small subfiles. Sorted subfiles are called runs. That is, next one is merge base. The merges the sorted runs. N-way merge uses n memory buffers to buffer input runs and one block to buffer output. Select the first record among input buffers, write it to the output buffer and delete it from the input buffer. If output buffer full, write it to disk. If input buffer empty, read next block from the corresponding run. Thank you.